They lost another relative. 49 years
Good.
Good evening and welcome to the March 20th regular town council meeting of Los Angeles Borough. If we can have the roll call, please.
Councilman Golsonen. Here. Councilman Gerald.
Present.
Vice Mayor Liang.
Here.
Councilman Rocket.
Here.
Mayor Brown.
Here. If you would stand for the pledge, remain standing for the invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Heavenly Father, again, we ask for wisdom and guidance. Give us clarity in all that we do, and give us a great meeting tonight. Send your rain, we pray in your name. Amen. All right. We have ask for approval of the agenda. First, any additions or corrections? Okay, Ryan makes a motion. Is there a second? Second by Jim. Further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Moving to the swearing in of council members, sheet 1 and 3.
However you want to do it. Is there anybody here to
Make
take
them come
pictures
down.
or
Yeah.
anything?
Yeah.
Okay. Please repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support and protect and defend
that I will support and protect and defend
the Constitution and government
the Constitution and government
of the United States
of the United States
and the state of Florida
and the state of Florida
and the charter of
and the charter of
the town of Waxahachie Rose,
the town of Waxahachie Rose,
that I am duly qualified to hold office
that I am duly qualified to hold office
under the Constitution of the state
under the Constitution of the state
and the charter of the town of Waxahachie Rose,
and the charter of the town of Waxahachie Rose,
and that I will well
that I will well
and faithfully perform the duties
and faithfully perform the duties
of town council member seat 1 and seat 3,
of town council member seat 1
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
All right, moving to our consent agenda. Now, are we going to, is the resolution a separate issue tonight?
It's up to you all. I was going to read the title either way. If you want a discussion, I would just vote on 1A or 2A.
Okay. Let's pull that out and handle that separately because I got more comment from Carl. So consent agenda will consist of the minutes from the January 14th meeting. So we have a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
A motion by Ron, is there a second? Second by Ryan. Discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Moving to item 2B, the resolution. Mike.
I'll read the title. A resolution of the town of Waxahachie, Florida, supporting the independent office of Inspector General for Palm Beach County, finding that the independent office of the Inspector General is necessary and in the public's best interest to ensure transparency and accountability of government, Palm Beach County and municipalities, urging that a fair and full funding of the Office of Inspector General be confirmed in order to ensure that the Office of Inspector General can effectively meet its duties and obligations pursuant to the Palm Beach County Code of Ordinances and consistent with the rule of the independent office of the Inspector General by Director of Palm Beach County in 2010. Directing that a copy of this resolution be provided to the Office of Inspector General of Palm Beach County, the Chair of the Board of Palm Beach County Commissioners, and the Palm Beach County League of Cities, and providing for an effective date.
All right, what do we need, motion on this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're going to make a motion, we'll have a second, and we'll discuss.
I'll make a motion we approve resolution 212-04.
Okay, Jim has made a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ron. Discussion by councilman. All right, I've got one public comment. Dennis?
Dennis Lipp, 1302 North Road, 1342 North Road. Today, the Board of County Commissioners held a hearing on this today, and basically the hearing was whether or not to accept the 15 cities, soon to be 14 cities, because I believe from what I've heard that Wellington will drop out of the suit. That was basically to vote an up or down whether or not to accept the resolution of the suit. Just as a little background with that, the Inspector General nor none of the public were invited to the discussions when they were working on settling the suit. There were probably about 20 speakers. It was time certain today at 11:15. Only one speaker got up and a little bit in favor of it, and that was Richard, the new chief of the League of Cities, and said that that the League of Cities really isn't for or against this. They're just, taking a lot of heat because the attorney for the League of Cities, Philip White, has been the one leading this charge. Well, basically, the outcome of this was the Board of County Commissioners voted unanimously to reject the arbitrated thing. So your resolution tonight, certainly, is a nice resolution. I think we've done it before. But I would recommend that you not only send it to the League of Cities, but send it to the 14 municipalities who are fighting on that. Because we have to have an adequately funded Inspector General. And their list of, went all the way up to maybe 15 or 18 sections, so that essentially nothing would be there to fund it, and then therefore we would have an inadequately funded LGR. And I think in any letter you send out, that you recommend that we stick with the LOGGER system, the LOGER system, because that's the only way that we can track anything as far as what cities are spending. Because if we're relying upon a city to step forward and say, this is what our budget items are, this is what our contract items are, it'll never happen. So this is a state requirement that we have a LOGER system out there and that all the cities and municipalities perform to that, and that's how their share of the contracts are then determined. So if you're going to send this resolution, it's a good idea, but I would recommend you take it one step further and encourage all the other cities. The next step on this is going to be Monday, where the negotiations are going to start in earnest. It will be at the City of West Palm Beach Council Chambers, and when I get a time certain, I'll let everybody know.
Okay. Jim, would you like to amend yours to where we send a copy to those now?
No, I think it's fine when we've done it. We send it to League of Cities. I think the League of Cities has, maybe we can ask them to send it to all town members.
We can, in the cover letter that the clerk sent, that you can request that it be distributed to the members of the league. I mean, that's the intent of sending it to the league.
Okay. All right. Everybody all right with that? Okay. All right. Now we have a motion and a second. Further discussion. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Resolution passes. Moving to item 8, administrative update. Mark.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, the Mayor, members of the council. Last Thursday, the town attorney, the town planner, our engineering consultant, and the district administrator and myself met to basically review processing and our internal response to the applications that are the subject of the workshop this evening. As we review the timeframes and how we would handle it administratively, the one issue that we discussed had to do with the actual review specifically of site plans. And as you know, Palm Beach County is responsible for reviewing building plans and building permits, and we have accepted the responsibility of doing planning and zoning. And there is kind of that gray area in between where you go from planning and zoning to actually doing site review and landscaping and all those kinds of things that go along with the land development process before it gets to the issuance of building permits. And one of the things that we felt would assist us that we don't have currently within the town is a development review committee. This would not be a citizens committee. This would be a committee that would include all the various vendors that provide us services, planning, engineering, etc. Plus, we would seek to add members like Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, the Battalion Chief of Palm Beach County Fire, all the individuals that would look at a site plan and provide comments. Obviously, the attorney has advised us the meetings do have to be recorded and they do have to be noticed, but they are strictly a working meeting for the purposes of reviewing the plans. What we're seeking tonight is your authorization to go ahead and prepare a resolution that we try to bring back hopefully for your April 3rd meeting, so that as we go through the process, we'll be able to move these plans along in a timely but also effective manner.
Okay, do we need a motion on this, or just,
I would appreciate a motion if that's, if there anything agreement.
all right,
I'll make a motion to the effect authorizing the first resolution, creating development DRC, this is called, as I understand.
okay, just a second.
I'll second.
Second by Ron, discussion by council. Have nothing here by the public? Okay. Grace?
For the record, Grace Joyce, 147th Avenue North. I think there needs to be a little bit more discussion on this, because just to say site plan review, does that mean if someone wants to put up a fence, you're going to have to get this group together to actually review it? I understand why we're doing it. I'm not really sure. In the city of West Palm Beach, they have what they call a Plans and Plat Review Committee, where all the disciplines get together. Who at the county actually is doing the review of the building permit plans? Do they have folks that we would be duplicating a review of the plan? I mean, I know that they're going to issue a building permit for structural things, but are they also going to have the police and engineer and fire? I think to just say we're going to go ahead and draft a resolution without a little bit more discussion of exactly what it details, we need to look at that. And it should probably be in the land development regulations stating procedurally what a person needs to do when they actually either ask for a text amendment to the code or have to go through site plan review, because this is going to cost more money. I mean, if we're going to be government-light, we're heading in the direction of not light. You know, we're not that light anymore. So I'm not saying we don't need it. We probably do, because a lot of applications are going to be coming in. But I do think you need to define exactly what that board is going to do, who it's going to be, and where the money is going to come from to pay for that. And do the members.
I think what we're doing is directing them to do the preliminary and basically come back on that. Am I correct, Mark?
Correct.
Okay, that's different than drafting a resolution. If you draft a resolution, you're going to discuss it and then vote on it. That's, just...
The intention is to draft a resolution, however, with the appropriate research involved.
And then you're going to present it at the April 3rd meeting.
If we can have it ready, it might be May, but we'd like to have it by April if possible.
Well,
My question, we've got a PZ board. Now, I personally would like to see it go in front of the PZ board for them to discuss it. If they have any questions and stuff, then y'all work together on this. Is there a time limit where we have to have it drafted? Are we pressured for time?
Well, this project is going to be moving pretty quickly, and we need to get have the committee in place, as we're probably looking by June. There is nothing onerous about development review committees. Most cities have them. The issue is Palm Beach County is not going to do that. Now, the town planner and I are scheduling a meeting with the county for coordination purposes. This falls into the land development type regulations, and we have to have all that done by the time we get it to the county. The county may be able to help us in some regards, but we still need to have the input. You want to hear what the sheriff has to say relative to any crime issues or SEPTED remarks, recommendations to environmental design. You know, the fire usually always has some good comments relative to fire lanes and things like that, as it relates to the shopping center. I don't think there's anything, you know, and as far as government light, I mean, I think the applicants fully expect that they're going to, you know, have to incur these costs anyway. It would be occurring to our vendors, whether we got together and did it in the form of a meeting or whether they did their own incremental reviews.
Sure. Okay, Tom?
Yeah, so just to clarify, you are looking at cost recovery for all these vendors?
For all the vendors, yes, sir.
Okay. I certainly think that Mark's able to figure out how to do it and take into account all the comments that you heard this evening, so.
Okay. Any other comments by council members? Have nothing else by the public? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you, Mark.
Yes, sir.
All right, moving to new business, planning and zoning, Ron Gerald.
We've got to pick an alternate member. Has anybody got, we need an alternate member for the planning and zoning. Has anybody got anybody in mind?
Looking for volunteers.
Do we have anybody in the room tonight that would like to be on the planning and zoning committee? Now, I found one young lady, Debbie, I can't pronounce the last name, but she used to, Debbie, are you here tonight? She used to be with the Landowner Association, but she's been around Loxahatchee for a long time. But her problem, she wants to be on the committee, but her problem is during the summertime, she goes away. She goes away for the summertime. Now, I spoke with Mark about it, and he doesn't seem to think it would be a problem because she would be an alternate. During the winter months, during the majority of the year, she would be here, and she is the one that I was hoping she would be here tonight, but she said that she would like to be on it. And I think most of you in the room, March, I think y'all know Debbie.
Debbie Castiglione.
Right. And she is the one that I would pick if nobody else has anybody in mind.
She's not here, so I think we
Well, what I'd like to say is, can we, in other words, mainly my biggest problem was, do you have a problem with her being gone during the summertime? In other words, this is for discussion tonight.
So just for clarification, this position is the second alternate that is appointed by the entire town council. It is the alternate number 2, so you'd have to have 2 members missing for Debbie to move up and be a voting member.
Okay. Yeah, for discussion, I've got no problem with that.
Sounds a good idea.
She's been active in the community for a lot of years.
Then what I'll do is I'll direct her to get with the town management and do whatever she needs to do to get on the list. Will she have to be voted in by us?
Well, we have that. We have already advertised it. We haven't gotten any interest. So I guess if you want, I can make sure she get a letter of interest from her that she's willing to accept, and you could probably do the formal appointment at your next meeting.
It's a vote, it's an alternate.
Okay. All right, so moving to B, Ron, Coach.
We've got an opportunity. I spoke about it before, and I thought we had a consensus the second time around. It was a little bit smoother than the first time, but I think we've got an opportunity that we can Ochum Collecting Canal Road from A Road to D Road. I got 2 prices, one from A Road to D Road, and that's my priority or my main concern for the simple fact the college is going to be coming in, ever how long it takes to build. But the residents are already concerned about overflow of traffic and people speeding in front of their houses and stuff. I've seen a drastic change on C Road. It seems like most of the people using C Road now are residents only. The dump trucks and stuff have converted over to B Road, and they were on A Road until we got our open with speed humps. So now it seems like people are favoring E Road and B Road with their transport of manure or whatever. But we've got the money. I would like to see a consensus tonight of trying to Ochum Collecting Canal. And the engineer gave me some estimates here, but he also made a comment that we had to do a maintenance map on the North Road. I don't know how much that cost us, but it cost us something. And he felt like we would not, I don't know why, I didn't ask him, and Clete may know, but he felt like we would not need a maintenance map for Collecting Canal Road. This is a short notice when I spoke with the engineer, but I wanted something that I could bring to the council tonight The other thing is, it seems like the Ojum has been delayed. I know they were gonna do our road 2 days ago, but it's been delayed. They didn't work on it today, but I personally like it that things have slowed down. I believe they couldn't get their rock over to the job site. They got it to the rail yard, but they couldn't get it to the job site. So the delay doesn't bother me, because if we can come to a consensus of doing collecting canal, that may give us enough time to put the base rock down and get it done. From D road to A road, it would include, just like on the north end, from A road all the way to E road. But the square from D road to A road, and I think it would stop the traffic right now, the flow-through traffic on Collecting Canal. I think the residents would see a difference before we get the college in. And that's my main goal, is to reassure the residents in that area that people's not going to be flying by their house and the traffic's not going to double. So I'm bringing it to the board tonight to see if, you know, the cost from A road to D road is approximately, it's 5,000 linear feet, but it's $135,000. I also asked them to give me a cost from D road to Folsom, and that cost me $170,000. Now, you know, and the other reason to do Collecting Canal is the same reason we're doing North Road. If the town agrees to pay for North Road all the way from A road to E road, it's going to cut the cost down to the residents with the north and south streets. And we keep talking about how are we going to make it fair for everybody? How are we going to cut the cost down to the people that have already agreed to pay for these roads? And we talk about it, but I believe here soon Clee's going to have to do the financing part and finalize everything. Well, if the town is going to help these people, we need to come up with a, you know, a problem or a way to solve it, a way to help the people. So if we agree to do the East and West Street, Collecting Canal, and North Road, that's definitely going to cut the cost down for the residents. The other thing is, with our gas tax funds, we can pay for anything that has to do with speed control. Okay, we talk about we want to help the residents. Well, if the town agrees to start with by paying for the speed humps and anything to do with signs and stuff related to speed control, then that's going to cut the cost down to the residents. And you know, we keep discussing it. We need to come up with either we want to help the residents or we don't want to help them. So tonight I'm trying to get a consensus of cutting the cost down to the people that's already willing to pay for these roads. Town paying for speed humps and signs, town paying for North Road and Collecting Canal. So that's what I wanted to discuss about.
Okay, you wanna make it a formal motion?
Yeah, no, I'd like to make an informal motion. The first motion would be that I'd like for the town to pay to have Collecting Canal Ojum from A road to D road.
To A to D.
A to D. Now,
Okay.
well, the question is, I'd like to go all the way to Folsom. Do I need two motions? Because I've got two separate prices. And those prices we can't afford as a
Did you
town.
make the motion, however you wanna make it?
Yeah, I would suggest whatever you want done.
Okay, well, I want to get something approved, so the odds are getting booked up. So we'll take one at a time. My first motion is that the town agrees, if possible now, if possible while the man's still here, with the delays we've had, if possible, I'd like to get the town to pay to Ojum Collecting Canal from A road to D road.
All right, is there a second?
Yeah, I'll second
Okay, second by Tom. Discussion by council.
First thing, I think last meeting we directed town staff to look at the possibility of pursuing down this road, which was, I thought that's what they were going to be working on. So I guess I take it that Councilman Gerald's helped them along with some information and pricing. But we're still, as the council had directed last meeting, that we wanted you to continue looking at feasibility of getting that done. Nothing had changed between now and then, so I would expect the council would be thinking along the same line. It's interesting the amount of money that's we're talking about from A to D is a little bit more than what it was at 3/4 of a mile. I'm not sure how that is. I'm concerned about what the actual cost might really be, because that doesn't make sense to me. But I think we all said, let's go forward and see what we can do. We were concerned about, my concern specifically was I didn't want to delay North Road, so we could package both of them and get nothing done. So we've got North Road already in the works, and I think it's fine. I would go forward with, go ahead, like we already said, let's move forward. I just concerned the number doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, Tom?
Well, since the piggybacking requires that we use the same unit prices, no matter what, I would think that Ron's estimate aside, that we're not going to pay any more than we're supposed to. I trust that they're going to, do the bills properly and check the bills properly. But on the bigger question of what we do here, it makes more sense to do the entire thing that he's trying to do, than to do just a little portion of it, I have to say, because I don't see what it accomplishes to not do it. So long as we do not have the intense speed bumps. Right now, the speed bumps that are on Collecting Canal, you can go 30, depending on which vehicle. My truck goes over 30, no problem, my Jeep does not. So it's
Which one's supposed to see road?
like, I'm talking about the ones on Collecting Canal that are on either side of C Road. And, maybe they could be a little spaced out more, or they could be done as speed tables, like we talked about, that might be.
All
I
right.
just don't want people who are living on roads that are not open to have to go through the whole gigantic speed bumps, real tight together situation.
All right.
Just a comment, can we discuss the speed hump separate? In other words, I hope Tom's not making a condition that the speed humps have to be perfect for us to give the people, because I,
Perfect.
okay.
Okay, right now we've got a motion regarding the OJMing of Collecting Canal from E to T.
Well, I would amend that to include all the way to Folsom. And if we can,
Okay, he's going to amend it.
and I would amend it further to say if we can get them 95% perfect, I would be okay with the speed humps.
All right, let's go back to the original of making the motion. Sir, Ron, you made the motion.
Okay, I'll make an amendment that we go all the way from A Road to Folsom Road with OJ.
Okay, on to
And keep in mind now, that when I say 135,000, that's for the remaining between A Road and D Road. In other words, that's not paying what the residents already agreed to pay. So that's something we can discuss later as far as the cost, but that's the section that's left. So,
And we talked about that, I think last time, that we were going to pay the whole thing on the North Road.
yeah,
And
and
I would suggest paying the whole road on this, the whole
we
thing.
can make that motion. Let's take care of this one. We got it on tape. All right.
The motion was, again, to authorize the town to pay for the Ocean project and the Collecting Canal from A to Folsom.
Folsom.
So it was amended to.
Including that portion.
Why don't we clean it up? Why don't you pull your motion to go from A to D and make a motion that you go
So you have to
forward?
withdraw.
Mike, is that-
You have to withdraw your.
But yeah, but I wanted to just go through a couple of things, just to make sure the record is clear, because the last, when we did North Road, there were a lot of concepts that went into it, and you remember we brought back the resolution to tie it all up. And the first thing we want to clarify is that it's the intent of the council's motion to piggyback on the North Florida Emulsions contract for the work.
Right.
And to piggyback on, and that's the contract, they're both the contracts between the vendor and the Wasatch Gross Water Control District. And then the engineering services contract for engineering and inspection services with Urban Anthony and the Wasatch Gross Water Control District. Pursuant to your code that allows you to piggyback on other government contracts and give you the same unit prices. That's what I understand the intent of the motion to do.
Okay, is that correct?
Yeah.
Now, the other part of that was putting together the component prices to ensure that there was no procurement issues. When we actually sit down and we go over what the totals are going to be, there's not just your code, there's state statutes that we look at thresholds on. So, would the intent of the motion be to direct us to put together the same type project that was presented for North Road on April 3rd, so that we could have the final numbers in there and confirm all the other issues, because one other aspect of it was we got a cooperative use agreement from the Water Control District. They took that to their board to confirm that that was a viable part of the project too. So, the way I'm interpreting it is you all giving us direction to put this project together and bring it back to you at your next meeting, same way we did North. And I'm assuming and hoping that the timing still works for the contractor to do it that way.
Okay, so is that what you want to do, Ron?
I guess in the other.
And my main concern is if Clete can work with us for that time frame, the best of your ability.
I'd like to just make sure that we don't have a problem with the cost estimate. Because with your cost estimate to do everything, just the OGM, what particularly did you have?
According to the engineer, he was figuring the cost for the OGM and stuff. Okay, so Clete can get with him on that. I think my main concern is just consensus and a vote tonight. In other words, if we've got the money, we want this project done. And then you can come back with the cost, and then if we feel like the cost is not satisfactory, but this is the estimate that he gave me.
I understand, absolutely. I'm just trying to, just basically, as Mike has indicated, obviously, to make sure we can meet the statutes and meet the
Right.
requirements, that the costs aren't going to be cost prohibitive in this particular case.
Right, okay.
One other point for clarification. When we did the North Road project, we specifically said missing links. And if we're doing the Brockton Canal, I've suggested we leave the C Road piece out of this motion, and we come back and look at how we might help with the C Road piece, because we all also have the option to look again at the assistance that we can do with the formula concept of saying, all right, let's see, you do a calculation that says, all right, this is the max that people will pay, the town will pay the difference, and we've in essence started down that path with the North Road project. You could do the same thing with the South Sea and the apron that goes east and west. So for now, just to clarify, we're only talking about that which has not been done, that we're paying for with this.
What I would like to do is encourage everybody, we've got a lot of people here from State College. We probably have 7:30, so let's move through this as quickly as we can. So again, you want to withdraw the original and go for the whole road?
Right.
Well, I take it as a motion direct your staff to bring back to you on April 3rd the project with the contracts and the prices for your authorization.
Right, excluding the section that's already done.
Excluding the portion, and it goes from the full thing, excluding the C Road section and stuff.
Hey, Tom, you're going to second the new one? Okay, so I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion by council? I've got one comment card, Dennis left.
Oh, wait, a comment.
What's that? Oh, okay. All right. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign? Okay, motion passes. All right, and we, moving on to closing comments. I have nothing here by the public. Town Attorney?
Mr. Mayor, just three quick items. First, just to confirm the direction of the council. I do get correspondence from members of the public and residents and whatnot. And what I typically do is I forward to the town manager to wait for the direction until you give me direction. Otherwise, that's what I'm going to continue to do. And I said that is your direction from way back when I started doing work for the town back in 2009. I just wanted to confirm that. I will not be here on April 3rd. DJ from our office will be attending that meeting, and everything else. And the final important comment I have is no disrespect to State College, but go Gators.
And along that line, and Mike assured me he does not charge us as a town for those emails that come in from private
Support
citizens.
them and wait for the direction.
That's good. All right, moving to town council members. Start with Jim.
I don't think I have any more comments.
Okay, Ryan.
Just gonna say I'm glad to be here another 3 years, and I'd like to especially thank my campaign manager and treasurer, Philomena Liang, also my mom. And I look forward to working with you.
All right. Ron.
I've got one thing I wanted to speak about, and I'll make it quick, but the new roads that we put down, over on A Road, we had somebody that was very destructive. He was turned, I don't know who it was, but it was a big, obviously a 4x4 truck. But apparently, we think he was turned around because the road was blocked off, and on his way out, I live at 161st, but on his way out, he backed into a driveway, he spun out, and then every speed hump from 161st to Okeechobee, he just basically tore them up. I would like to see us as a town, and I'd like a decision on that so we can kind of work on it for the next meeting, but we talked with PBSO about how we can get them out here to patrol while we're doing the Ojum roads and stuff, but that's about $42 an hour, very expensive. I would like to see us as a town to make a stand and put a $2,000 reward for anybody arrested and convicted of vandalizing our roads or our residents in Loxahatchee. That means if somebody breaks into a house and somebody wants to rat on them and they can get arrested and convicted, then we reward them. But I don't think that's asking too much out of us to put up a reward like that. A couple people made a comment, well, they'd give $100. Well, there's not too many people going to rat on their friends for drug money for $100. So I'd like a consensus, and I'd like to take this forward because we need to make a stand when it comes to protecting our residents and our roads. We're spending too much money to allow somebody to come in and abuse us like that.
Okay. We typically don't like to do motions as in comments from supervisors. Are you making that motion?
I'm making a motion that the town puts up a $2,000 reward for any arrest and conviction of anybody that vandalizes our roads or our residents in Loxahatchee.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll make a second to that motion.
Okay. Discussion by council members.
Mike, can we get a little input from you on such an idea?
Well, it's kind of the first I'm hearing of it, but
Short notice.
it's a public purpose, municipal purpose, that it's always the devil's in the details and the parameters and the eligibility and how it's going to work and who the tips go and keeping it. You've got public records implications, anonymity. Allow us to just look at the issue. Allow us to just.
So basically, our intent is to do this. So
Yeah,
you can go back.
we'll tell you how you can do it, and if it's too cumbersome or an issue, you can always backtrack. But let us take a look at the issue and find a way to advise you how to make it happen.
Yeah, give it
Well, okay, one reason I brought it up now, I knew Ron would probably put it in the town crier, so that'll at least get the word out no matter which way we go.
All right,
I'm presuming we're doing it.
yeah. Motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. It passes. All right, moving on to,
I'll just say congratulations, Ryan, congratulations, Ron, and on to the next.
all right. Congratulations to the two council members on each side of you. And with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Now we're moving right into our second meeting. We'll take about 3 minutes.
Yeah, they asked for a quick break so they could get ready.
Okay, sounds good.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Talk to that contractor about doing the speed hump. That's all you. Yeah.